turn to the latest on the shooting death of Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle. A suspect is now in custody, and overnight,
Nipsey Hussle's life and the mother of his child addresses the rapper's death for the first time, writing on Instagram, "I am completely lost. I've lost my best friend. We are lost without you, babe. I have no words." Earlier this week, police have imposed a curfew at the memorial site to allow mourners to pay their respects.
Only hours after Nipsey Hussle's ultimately death, many took to the social media to claim that he was killed by the powers that be, mainly because he was working on a documentary about the infamous Dr. Sebi. The Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle died after being shot 6 times outside of his clothing store on Sunday afternoon. He was 33 years old. According to a witness, Hussle was killed military style with 5 shots to the body and 1 to the head. This brother was trying to make a change in the neighborhood. What happened? Why is it that somebody had so much influence upon his community gets assassinated? Well, why did Malcolm X get assassinated? Why did Martin Luther King Jr. got assassinated? And everybody else before Nipsey? Because they were going against the agenda. They were going against the code. In this Chronicles, we're going to go inside or behind enemy lines and find out who wanted this man dead and why. Welcome to Nipsey Hussle, Assassinated Chronicles. In 2018, Nipsey Hussle announced that he was working on a documentary shedding light on Dr. Sebi's infamous trial, where he proved that he found a cure for AIDS. In one interview, Hussle actually stated that he might be killed over this documentary. See, people, he told you. He told us about this. Just like the little young man that said he was going to be sacrificed.
I at least, if I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy.
Dr. Sebi went against Big Pharma. Not only him, but countless amount of natural healers who was cut down as well. A token and a warning against anyone who come up against their billions of dollars they make off sick people, keeping them sick, keeping them in the system, that we will cut you down. And when Dr. Sebi won those court cases, he had to go. His influence was too tremendous upon the masses. They killed this man. They took this man out of the way. Because you can go to the store and purchase food that could heal you versus paying hundreds and thousands of dollars using chemo, drugs, under the knife. But Dr. Sebi said, just certain foods will heal you. Now Nipsey went too far with the elite. And his desire was to make known to the public Dr. Sebi's healing methods. Watch this.
I would really like to ask you, what famous people have you cured?
Well, we have Mr. Michael Jackson.
What was his problem?
Well, everything with his nervous system. Just name it, he had it. I had Mr. Steven Seagal, which had a headache for many years, and the llamas didn't cure it.
The llamas from where?
Tibet.
Oh, he was in Tibet?
Kathmandu, he's a llama. So I cured his headache, and the llamas didn't.
Where did he get the headache from?
From inside of his head. He had a lot of inflammation in his head.
So how did you cure his headache?
I gave him a composition of iron and phosphorus, and his headache was gone in less than 5 minutes. The other one that I treated was Mr. Eddie Murphy family and his mother. Well, you know, these are things that you don't, patient, doctor, confidential.
Okay.
You cannot say that, but I treated Eddie Murphy mother. I treated Mr. Cicely Tyson brother. He had his disease, and well, I treated many. In my conversation with Lisa Lopez one night in the village, she said to me, you know what I found out in my 42 days past? That we really don't know anything. I said, you're right, Lisa. We don't know anything. And what all these books are for? I said, I don't know. I don't read them. I don't read any books. I don't read nobody's book. I don't care whose book is it. I said, but then it's only left one thing. We should only offer compassion to each other. We should receive great benefits from the treatment.
I would advise my viewers who might be questioning your authenticity that you won that case. Now, so the charge was practicing medicine without a license and claiming that you had a remedy to cure AIDS, cancer, and diabetes. AIDS, cancer, and diabetes. So the question is, how did you win that case against what some people say are the toughest prosecutors in the land?
Well, it was 1987.
87, not 79,
The
87.
10th of February.
Okay.
My mother knew they were coming. When I told my mama that I had cured my 13 AIDS patient, she said, "They're gonna get you."
He was my lingo a little different. Have you met Dr. CB? I never met him. I met his wife, and I take his products for sure.
Now, the coolest guy ever. I mean, he was, when we interviewed him, I think he was about 74.
Oh, y'all interviewed him?
Yeah, we interviewed him twice.
Man.
Not here, but when I was on the other show. He was able to jump from the floor up here on his knees.
At
Where he jumped
70 something.
on his knees,
Yeah.
and jump back down and no problems, nothing like that.
Why you think they killed him?
Why do they kill all holistic doctors?
Messing up the medical industry.
You shortstopping that grind. Why do niggas get killed for hustling in front of a nigga spot?
You said I cured my 13 AIDS patients.
Yeah.
So you had 13 patients
Yeah.
who had AIDS.
Yeah.
And then you say
Cured.
you cured them.
Sure.
Keep talking.
So, my mother said, "They're gonna get you." I said, "But Mom, why are they gonna get me?" Because you must remember that you live in a society that support a certain philosophy and a certain system. You being the color that you are, black, and then you going against the grain, they're gonna get you.
You shortstopping the grind. And these niggas, they check is billions. You got niggas that get flipped for a couple $100,000. So you playing with some pharmaceutical money, you know? And what's crazy, I'm working on doing a documentary on the trial in 1985 when Dr. Sebi went to trial against New York.
Right.
Because he put in the newspaper, he cured AIDS.
Yeah.
Did he
He beat the
He won that
case.
shit, yeah.
And he went to federal court the next day and beat that case on record.
Yep.
And nobody talk about it. Proving that he cured AIDS?
Absolutely.
Come on, why we don't know about that?
Absolutely.
And you know,
And he just died mysteriously down there.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you know how they play.
Oh, yeah.
You know, niggas was tweeting me, "Hustle, be careful, man. Your plane gonna go down." I say, "Niggas better ride for me."
You
Nigga, something
dig?
happened
That's
to
what I'm
me.
saying. Don't pray.
You know, niggas was tweeting me, "Hustle, be careful, man. Your plane gonna go down." I say, "Niggas better ride for me."
You
Nigga, something
dig?
happened
That's
to
what I'm
me.
saying. Don't pray.
You know, niggas was tweeting me, "Hustle, be careful, man. Your plane gonna go down." I say, "Niggas better ride for me."
You
Nigga, something
dig?
happened
That's
to
what
me.
I'm saying. Don't pray.
Nipsey Hussle was gunned down in broad daylight. Without clear evidence of a motive, his murder is being portrayed as gang violence, but many suspect he was assassinated to silence him. Nipsey Hussle was producing a documentary about Dr. Sebi.
I think the story is important. I think it's a powerful narrative.
It is.
You know what I mean? And I think imagine this. Anybody in this room, if I could say, "Hey, somebody cured AIDS," y'all be like, "Yeah, right." And then I could show you an example of him going to trial and proving in a court to a jury that he cured AIDS. Y'all would be interested in that.
Absolutely.
And y'all would look into the way he did it, right?
Dr. Sebi was a Honduran herbalist known for successfully curing AIDS. What is most interesting is that in 1988, Dr. Sebi took his case to the Supreme Court and won. The judge asked Dr. Sebi to provide a single witness who was cured of AIDS. Dr. Sebi provided 77, proving in a court of law that his claims were legitimate. In 2016, Dr. Sebi was arrested and died in jail. His arrest records have not been released, so it remains unclear as to why he was arrested in the first place. Nipsey Hussle believed that Dr. Sebi was murdered to protect the pharmaceutical industry's capital gain. On the same day as Nipsey's murder, the University of California announced that we need funding to eliminate new HIV infections. Their solution is a lifetime dependence to pharmaceuticals costing thousands of dollars a month. The black community has been stricken with AIDS more than anyone else. According to so-called experts, this is due to stigma, fear, discrimination, and homophobia. In 2003, Dr. Boyd Graves sued the U.S. government, claiming that the HIV/AIDS virus was designed as biological terrorism against African Americans. In the lawsuit, Dr. Graves submitted Dr. Robert Gallo's 1971 special virus paper, which reveals how the United States was seeking a virus particle that would negatively impact the defense mechanisms of the immune system. In 1978, Zbigniew Brzezinski submitted National Security Council Memorandum 46 to the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, and the Director of Central Intelligence. Brzezinski recommended that special clandestine operations should be launched by the CIA to generate mistrust and hostility in order to disrupt the black community. In April 1984, Dr. Robert Gallo filed a United States patent application for his invention, the HIV/AIDS virus. Dr. Graves claims the AIDS virus was added as a complement by pharmaceutical company Merck to experimental vaccines given to homosexuals and members of the black community in America and Africa. Shortly thereafter, the two regions were overwhelmed with mass infections of the AIDS virus. We know that the U.S. government is capable of doing this. In 1932, the Public Health Service, working with the Tuskegee Institute, allowed hundreds of black men to die of syphilis, while countless others were allowed to be infected with the disease. Was Nipsey Hussle murdered to keep him from exposing these crimes to his massive audience? Sadly, the world may never know.
Now, this part of the Chronicles is going to take you by surprise. Was Nipsey for the community? I believe so, people. Without a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. But was Nipsey a part of the brotherhood? Without a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. And when you break the oath, they come for you. They silence you like all the rest.
And tap into your spirituality. My church is caressed, okay? And tap into your spirituality. My church is caressed, K-R-S-T. They teach African spiritual science, okay? And that's where I get my strength from. And as black...
Our prayers do go out to the family of Nipsey Hussle, and in that respect, we don't want to see anyone die, and we definitely don't want to see anyone die in sin. But I have to deal with this, this murder and just the whole hip hop culture and the gang relation it had and all of that. Okay, so first let's deal with this. On the internet, I've been getting multiple memes and different things of people putting Nipsey Hussle in heaven, of course, you know, in heaven with Biggie and Tupac and everyone else, because, you know, people really don't know the truth about heaven. They don't know the truth about living for God. You know, no one goes to heaven according to the Bible, but those that accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, those that make him Lord, and those that live by his rules or his religion. I know Kurt Franklin has told y'all that there are no rules and no religion, but that is not true at all. He needs to read the Bible, because the Bible is specific about religion. It tells us what religion is, and we know that God's religion is salvation through Jesus Christ. And so without Jesus Christ, no man will see God. So all of these preachers, we're seeing an onslaught of preachers coming out with these messages and these sermons about Nipsey Hussle and equating him to Moses and the prophets in the Bible and different things. And it's very, very sad to see that men can get so desperate for money. You know, they built these big old churches, you know, 20 years ago when the getting was good, and they could convince everyone that things would get better if you just give me your money. And now those churches are dying, they're dwindling, they're drying up because people have seen that you're no different. What you're promising is not going to help me. These preachers that aren't teaching the truth of the word, they're losing members to the world. So they have to incorporate the world. So they're incorporating Nipsey Hussle in their messages, even though Nipsey referred to himself as Osiris, a false pagan god of Egypt. And he referred to Laura London, even on his Instagram, as being Isis, the counterpart of this. So he's calling himself a false god. And, you know, God himself said, no, there shall be no other God before me. So people putting Nipsey Hussle in heaven, it's sad to say that if he did not believe that Jesus Christ was the only way, then he is not there in heaven. Heaven does not have a ghetto. Heaven is not letting you do what you want to get there. It's by the blood of Jesus Christ that will all make it in. So, but all you got to do is listen to his lyrics, and that's my thing. You know, you want to make a hero out of him, a Nobel Peace Prize winning philosopher out of him because of the Dr. Sebi connection or whatever. But if you read his lyrics, you see that he was a street banger. He sung about getting money. He sung about getting rich. He called women bees and hoes. Have one of his songs called 100, where I'm going to, of course, read the lyrics. I'm going to try my best to read this without cussing, but it's full of the street language that he was a part of. It says, ballin' for real, I'm taking big money, 100,000 a show, but that's my rent money, 4,000 a pound, but that's my smoke budget. F it off at the mall. That's 'cause these hoes love it. Okay. He says, black sax 15, probably playing blue lace in the 6. Bees that strip, falling for the crip. She want me for my money. I tell her to such my rich. Make her F the whole clique. And so, you know, I'm sorry, but how are you a savior of the community if you are promoting the very thing that's destroying the community? I'll never understand that. I'll never understand. Well, first of all, let's talk about the preachers. I'll never understand a preacher that will glorify a man that glorifies a street culture that's killing us, that babies out of wedlock, drugs, AIDS, homosexuality, all the different things that are destroying our community. These things are promoted in the hip hop culture or hip hop subculture that I talk about in all my videos. And this guy glorified it. He glorified the street life. He glorified killing. He glorified getting money, smoking. He glorified strippers and giving strippers money and all these things. And man, you're going to equate this guy with some biblical apostles and say that he, like E. Dewey Smith said, he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Nipsey. All of this junk to try to get members and different things. I mean, it is sad to see that in the church. And it's sad that the world has to look up to people that glorify this culture. Just relax and stop letting the internet guide us and stop letting YouTube convince us and making us follow this guy or that guy, all these people, y'all. We are forgetting that we are followers of Jesus Christ. If you are a Christian, if you are a believer, then please, let me tell you, pray. Every night pray, Lord, don't let me get caught up in this deception. Don't let me follow deceptive preachers and follow deceptive singers. And God, don't let me be lost in this last hour, because I'm telling you, y'all, there are a lot of false prophets that have come upon the earth. So we have to make sure that we are following the right one.
Please subscribe to the Pastor's Chronicles. Hit the subscription, hit the bell so you can get updates. And also, I want to share with you my other page, because a lot of people say, Pastor, I get it. You know, I appreciate everything you're doing, but we need some teaching, some gospel teachings. So if you look here, the Pastor Scott Hinton, this is the gospel message that I'm presenting. This is my other page. You can actually, if you go back to the Pastor's Chronicles and you scroll down, first you got to hit, if you're watching like a video or something like Snoop Dogg Satanic Gospel Album, You know, you can click the Pastor's Chronicles, and then when you pick the Pastor's Chronicles, you scroll down, bam, there go Pastor Scott Hinton. Subscribe, hit the subscription there, or you can actually click on it and it'll take you to my other page, and there you will learn about the Bible. You'll have Bible studies and go deep into understanding the will of God. All right, may the Lord bless you, and share this message. And also check me out on tpchronicles.com. That's my platform, that's my website, so you can enjoy more of truths and read articles and things of that nature. All right.